I'm coming on the
Okay.
internet.
Welcome to my show, TikTok, where we talk about what makes successful people tick and what it took for them to pursue their passions, follow their dreams, and achieve their goals. Be careful what you name your child because it could very well chart his destiny. My guest's first name, Illac, is an Aztec word meaning God of light. Little did his parents know, or little did he know, that he would one day make it his mission to end energy poverty by lighting up the world and millions of lives among the poorest of the poor, one bottle at a time. Meet the international award winning social innovator and entrepreneur and solar advocate, Illac Diaz, founder and executive director of Leader of Light and My Shelter Foundation, four-time international TED Talker, Edison awardee, Zayed Future Energy Prize winner, and the newest ASEAN champion for providing sustainable electricity to energy poor communities all over the world. Please welcome Illac Diaz.
Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Hi, hi.
Hi. Wow. Where are you today? I see
It's
Jose
like
Rizal behind you.
I know. So yeah, no, we're preparing for the event that's going to happen on November 30. That's very important. I think to me, the foundation, and of course, the people we represent. And I hope to tell you more about that. So yeah, we're at basically the Rizal Park. This is not a backdrop. You could see the
I
flag
thought it was virtual, but
and a virtual guard asking me like,
I
"Sir,
know.
pwede ba kayo na ano na pwede, may authority kayo mag-zoom sa
Hala. Permit daw.
no, but yeah, I mean Rizal Park is probably the safest place. There's about in 100 years they said that it's never been
Right.
safety, and at 6 o'clock they ask everybody to leave. So I mean, it is an experience for me to be here because usually it's packed, right? It's packed.
Right.
Today it's not. So if there's a time for me to do this, it's now. This tribute. We're doing a tribute to
Yes.
frontliners.
Right. Tell us more about it. What exactly are you doing there? And maybe you can even show us if there's anything to show yet.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'll walk over there. But Mirza, is it okay that I show a video of what we're doing and how it started? I'll give you a brief first. We
Sure.
when we started Glitter of Light, we knew that we didn't want to be a charity. We wanted it to be a social enterprise because a charity, you could never really build a global brand, especially a Filipino humanitarian brand, by just waiting for people to give you money. So it's always been a bodega or a small little room in your house
Right.
because it's a handout, and the worst thing is to actually beg for help when you know you're doing something good. And so we shifted it out into actually doing like a Habitat for Humanity. We didn't invent it, or Gawad Kalinga, where Tony Meloto was a sponsor and a mentor. And so what we do is we give materials to the company, and then the company builds the solar lights there, and we charge them for the experience of building it.
Right.
And if they want to go to the community, we also charge that. But that allowed us to grow from a two person operation to now 220 staff and 32 countries around the world. So yes,
Wow.
we're very excited, and we are your Philippine representative to the World Expo. So I'd like to tell that story.
Wow. Congratulations.
two-story operations to, as I said,
Yes.
2,400.
First, give us the most recent numbers to paint a picture of the scope of Liter of Light. I mean, how many lights, how many homes, how many countries around the world?
Well, 32 countries around the world, as far as Chile. To give
Wow.
you a really interesting thing, last year we took a ship called Peace Boat for
Yes.
100 days around the world. So we went the route of Magellan. So next year is when Magellan actually landed in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
We circled the world, and every port.
Circumnavigated the world.
Yeah, we
Wow.
every port, the 19 countries. Nigeria. We did Cape Town. We did this is going back. We took off from Japan, of course, but then later we went to Singapore, China, Singapore, and Singapore. We started going around the world. We went, Magellan Strait.
Yes.
Of course we went to Chile. Chile, we went across the Pacific Islands, and we of course we didn't pass by the Philippines. From Samoa we ended it. We had to take a flight back, but it was really interesting how big the world is. When they say change the world, you don't expect it to be that big, and so to do it by ship on the water, and every country, to be able to teach Liter of Light really showed me that the Filipinos have ideas that can be world changing for people with the same problems as us. So that was pretty cool. Usually we're always the one receiving it. We're,
Right, right.
yeah. So let me show you how we were able to grow the business model. Uh, so uh,
Okay.
so up as usual. Sorry, I'm a millennium. I'm not a millennial. So okay. So share screen. Press that. Share screen. And let me play how it looks like when companies uh, build solar lights and reduce their carbon footprint by hand.
Right.
So right here, this is, we go in a company, and basically the employees, some of them are accountants. It could be anyone anywhere. So we really like the fact that anyone anywhere can be a solar engineer. It comes in parts. So the way we teach people is, the same way we teach in villages, that you can build street lights. These are street lights where there's mobile chargers. Like this is a mobile charger, and you can build a light just by simple tools, and so we don't have to import patented expensive ones. So the nice thing there is we've taught almost 500 people at the same time. Because as I said, who's never done electronics, to tell them that solar doesn't have to be complex, nor do we have to have like big operations. We can invest in small villages for them to learn how to do it.
Right.
So yeah, this is about 2 hours. You can make everybody build solar lights, and so it's the same way that we can light whole villages only in a week. It's because we teach them the technology how to help us. So one person comes in, and next thing you know, you have 100 people that can work with you, and that's the power of replication. So very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Wait, how do you leave
Wow, I
studio?
can see your whole desktop.
I know. Sorry, I don't know how to. How do I get back to you? How do I
I'll
get
just
this? How do I
remove
get
it. Okay.
Okay,
So you're
sorry. I
also
told you I'm
trying
a
to make,
millennial.
you also initiated a campaign called Light It Forward to make
Yeah,
this endeavor viral. You want to tell us about it? You were inspired by the ALS Bucket Challenge.
right. So we were doing really well. 1 million people a year were affected by our operations, and as I said, we had youth that were employed. It was not just charity; they were employed, doing workshops all around the world, and earning from it, having an office, but at the same time bringing these lights to women cooperatives and showing them how to make a rental system. They keep the solar panel and then they rent out the light because they were spending so much on kerosene. They were spending kerosene that burns up, and it was dirty, and it was, it was also a fire hazard. And here we were able to, teach basically how to repair, make solar lights by hand, and it expanded. But with the COVID, it all came crashing down. I
Oh
thought I
no.
would get into
Right.
bankruptcy because all companies, and you're talking maybe about 100, 150, 150,000 people that were doing these workshops consistently, or were the regulars every year, suddenly went to a halt. And so, yeah, we were watching this movie, Pay It Forward, where somebody does good and then
Right.
challenge the other five, and to do good in the world. And I did remember the ALS challenge, and I said, why don't I challenge a couple of people I know? And they did it, and they challenge. This is Jasmine Curtis, and she, as I said, she took the challenge, and she challenged five other people. And next thing I know, there are 400 artists that are doing the challenge with an influencer reach of about 25 million people. So people started copying, I mean, using the influence not just for entertainment. I mean, we're the largest footprint in the world, but now we were influencing people to actually, be transparent, to take the challenge, build it by hand, so that they know it's an actual solar light, and they can test it and they can use it. We took a week till we got it, and they actually did this. They actually made this big difference. So Ellen Adarna, and we had doctors do it. We had, and this was amazing because people don't know that when COVID took away the tourists, villages that used to rely on kerosene to light up their village. Remember, they had money to spend, money to burn, literally, to put kerosene lamps in their villages. But it was very expensive, and then suddenly it all came grinding to a halt. So villages were losing light.
Right. Right.
Even getting light, you have to pay not just for the light, but you have to pay for the expense of the village truck or the village jeep to go to the city, get kerosene, and then bring it back, or go across the island to get it. So it was really, really a very tedious way to not have villages, survive on sustainable energy. But what was that? If you import it, you get it from China and India, and you have to put it in a box, a container, a ship. By the time it comes here, 60% is just logistics. And I said, why not build it ourselves? And in fact, to prove it, why don't we make anyone anywhere be part of this solar revolution?
Right.
I can
Wow.
I can show you a quick video of the
Okay.
challenge. Once
Right.
again, I hope your audience doesn't laugh at me, but I'll try to do this again. Okay,
How and how has it been so far? How many people have actually taken up the challenge, and
three
what is the
thousand,
effect?
3,000,
Wow.
3,000. Of
3,000.
course, not the same one, but 3,000 in 3 months. Of course, it started slow, but here's the challenge. I hope you can see it. Can you see this?
Not yet.
Okay, now.
Okay, there.
Even in the midst of this pandemic, there are thousands of households and communities still being left in the dark. On behalf of the Liter of Light Foundation, we challenge you to be the spark and help us light 1,000 homes. And as we light it forward, together, we can all find our way through this darkness.
Oh, what happened? Did it stop? Hello? Are you still there? I think it stopped. Hello, hello. Okay.
So if you can exit me, okay, you know.
Wow, galing.
So,
And
so,
so,
so it's amazing that that people actually took the challenge. I think they were getting bored of the cute entertainment, which was good for a while, but
right,
it just so happens that we were like the 4 months in COVID. At a certain point, you're like, we have to help out. Of course, food is great, but it
right,
after a while it gets eaten. You wanted something that all was also long term, and so that was,
right,
that's what we wanted. We wanted for your 20 minutes, it will last for the next 5 years, 10 hours a day, 10 to 12 hours a day with 2 hours to 3 hours charging time. So we wanted to prove that, you know, uh, that only in the Philippines you can have a massive number of people make solar lights, and this is why we're here in Luneta now to sort of show the power of it. I own the world record for the largest sustainability lesson, and I want to show you how that's done. But this time, I couldn't get them all here at the same time. So basically, I am going to do it from the household. So we're doing something bigger than my world record. Of course, it's not a world record because you're doing it from the house, but it's going to be a bigger impact. It's going to be a bigger image. And all those lights will go to Cagayan. And of course, we're working with the Department of Education to give it to communities. So I can show you. Yeah. So this one is 300. We're doing
right,
3,000. So this is
right.
that's 3,000. So
So,
that's from there.
so this is what you're gonna do, preparing it for Monday.
Yeah. So it's very symbolic because each one of that represents a frontliner. It's gonna be, yeah. You're right now in the office. In Luneta. Of course, Luneta Parks generously supported us with this. Air Asia is going to deliver the lights for us so we
Right,
don't have transport costs.
right.
We have Rotary that has helped us, with it, and of course the JCI Malilenia. But the point is, even from the home, we're doing it. So on Monday we have doctors from heads of PGH coming in with frontliners. They're coming in with also we're meeting with St. Luke's are coming over because it's so important that people see, not just a broad scope. Hey, frontliners, it's so vague, it's so general. When I want to point out each individual, so each light will have the strap from when you're a patient.
Yes.
There's a strap collar for how many people died, how many doctors
Oh,
died.
wow.
There's a strap for how many went through COVID. And of course, the rest is going to be how many are serving. I want to personalize it because this is going to be just my local exhibit. I'm going to do something next year which is going to be global. So I want to prove it. I can do it here from people in the home, and then I'm going to do it globally at the World Expo. Would you like to see the world record so you sort of get to see?
Sure.
So right now it's perfect because when the lights go down,
You'll see the
all the
lights.
all the flag will, so it's light sensitive. It'll turn on immediately.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm gonna share screen again, and once again you can see the mess on my board. And okay, so can you see this, Mears?
Um, okay.
Can you see this? No.
It's not shared yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, I'll share it again. Bang and bang. Okay, can you see it?
There.
The okay.
Oops. It's your entire desktop. There.
Can you,
Okay. So this was in, was it
so
in UAE?
UAE, and the king wanted a tribute to the founder, his father basically, and Al Nayan asked me to invite students from the seven kingdoms and invite them to build solar lights like we build here in the Philippines. Because they were so surprised. They said, "Isn't it like high tech and technical?" I said, "No, we want to create jobs. We don't want to import it and then just sell it, or because it breaks down. We want something that can be repaired." So I have a world record. So the royal family came, and so when the lights go out,
Wow.
so that is the tomb of
Amazing.
the father. And for this one, it's gonna be the tomb of. It's gonna be the if you can take it out. It's gonna be the tomb of our national hero. So I want to honor our national heroes in a national place where I think they should. It's not about it's that they're tired, they're exhausted. The COVID situation is gonna continue till we get the immune system. But they're suffering, and I think I don't want to end the year without
Right.
saying
Thank
20% of the
you.
global frontliners, doctors, nurses, 25% of New York staff are Filipinos. It's about time that we claim it. We
Right.
are. We have given the
Wow.
world something that they never thought that a race could be able to contribute. And so I want to claim it. I want to claim it for us. I know that people like Boris Johnson said thank you to the frontliners, wore a T-shirt. The New York governor thanked us, but we cannot have these stories spoken by somebody else. We have to be able to
To
tell our
embrace
own
it and
story. We
flaunt
have
it and
we
own
have
it.
to own it. We have to own it.
And what a way to get the world's attention. You've always dreamed big, even if it's your philosophy that in the smallest of ways, all together combined with some people power, we can make impact on the world. How did this originate? Like, how does one create an Illac? What kind of childhood did you have?
Well, my parents, always said that be proud, but with the privilege that you were given, don't waste it. So yes, I went through everything, like enjoying myself, and after a while I got bored. I said, is this it? Is this it? Is this what I have to do, or constantly collect stuff? I wanted something more, and
Right,
I lessened what I have, and I just did more of helping out and serving. But I couldn't grow fast enough till I discovered social enterprise, or using the business principles for good. And that one allowed me to expand. And so I really believe that we have the greatest boxer in the world. We have the beauty queens, but I think at 100 million people, with so much given by the world to us in Tacloban and all these years for poverty, we don't have USAID. We don't have actually an agency that we ever thought like maybe we should give back after all that we've received, and maybe have inventions and technologies and social enterprises that really make an impact on the world. Because I'll tell you, Mirza, one of the reasons also was really critical is that there's a growing racism against Filipinos around the world. And I'll explain to you why. It's because the films that we show, a lot of it is, of course, they say it's art, but a lot of it is tragic. It's about killings, injustices. I mean, we have, even in the Cannes, we win this, but it's all about the greatest tragedies. And so people see this, and at the same time, we have disasters, and we have Filipinos around the world asking for money all the time because every year we have these disasters. And so I said to myself, we have to have a different story. And when the frontliners came, I said, I am going, no matter what people are telling me, Illac, we don't do anything till next year. All this thing is going to be paralyzed. And I said, if I let it go till next year, we might lose the chance to claim the story that the world should be thankful for the service, for the human sacrifice that Filipinos has done here and around the world. 20% is a significant number and enough for us to say, ang mamatay ng dahil sa iyo. Ang mamatay ng dahil sa iyo. We died in a foreign land, away from our land, because we died for humanity. We served for humanity. Not me, but I think the Filipino frontliners should be thanked. More than a billboard ad or more than a drone in the sky, we should be able to see their numbers. And I'm trying to put numbers into the ground. In Paris, when they couldn't protest against climate change, everybody, including the Pope, brought their shoes and lined it up in the Place de la République. And this showed a personal story. And as I said, I thought that, with 10 or, with a little bit of money, it wasn't enough. But I realized that so many people was willing to help. So this was with sweat equity done by the people to thank the people that are in the service of the people. So that's what's happening. Let me show you a little bit what's
Yes,
happening.
please. Show us
So
what
they're now lining up. Sorry, it's a. So look at that. I mean, what a country we have. Anyway, so they're lining up the lights now.
How many lights do you have there?
So we have 3,000. We have 3,000 that are being put down. So we're now lining it up. We're gonna be here till about 11 o'clock at night. As you see, I'm going around and there's nobody. I mean,
Right.
never in my life. But look at that. I mean, so many have sacrificed and died for us, and still sacrificing. I think we have to value more people that that are in the service. And so, anyway, I'm a little bit ashamed because it's a bit too little now, but it was raining, so we're gonna work all night to make this
Right.
happen.
Right. Where did you get such a sense of nationalism and social responsibility? Was there a point in your life where you were touched by something that happened? Oh, there's your light.
So basically, I remember one of the key decisions for me to engage. No, when I say engage, it's not just like to tweet or retweet or to I felt that we were unjustly treated in the sense that I had a presentation in school, in college, and they showed a Filipino really dark, dirty, with like a fly on their face. And I raised my hand and I said, I'm sorry, sir. It's an international agency. And I said, sir, how come you're representing the Filipinos like that? I go, I go all over. I was a mountaineer, and I never saw a Filipino dirty. They're clean. They're hygienic. And later on, I got to meet this person, and he said, I cannot sell or get money by showing the Filipinos as healthy and and well and strong. And I said, you know what? I'm going to build an organization to change that, because if
Wow,
not,
in college pa lang.
yeah, in college. But I never got the formula. I tried and I tried, and I went back into business. I went to work for the corporate world, so I got my business skills. And when the advent of using business for good came out, I realized that it was my time to get out of the corporate and start doing it. One thing that has been amazing was to learn that by doing good, you don't diminish yourself. You don't become poorer. I mean,
Right.
I got into studying the best schools in the world because they said, if you're doing good, we want to help you to do more. When I was in business, everything that was for profit, they made me pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Is they if they know that you're business, they'll treat you as a business. But if they know that have a life of service. I know it's not as rich as my other classmates, but as I said, I just went around the world, 32 countries, so half my life is traveling. And I learned to live with much less, but it's been quite a fulfilling life. I'm working with Steven Spielberg now because he's
I
doing a
know.
he did a short he did a short on Litter of Light. He loved it so much, and he's asking for. So I don't have enough content. So he says, I'm recording everything I do, and I just wanna, uh, I just wanna. Do you see this?
Yes.
So yeah, he says I want to feature stories with the power of a great idea. I want to feature stories, and so he said, bring me back more content, and hopefully, in 3 years, I will bring him. So yeah, I've been lighting up. I've been going to Africa and lighting up the Maasai tribes, teaching them how to have this, like, basically what is a street light for me, and basically teaching them how to maintain it, because there are lions that attack their cattle. It's a very serious problem there. And so, I'm teaching them how to do it. In fact, one of them was using my light on the, like, horizontally. And I said, why are you using it horizontally? I can't see the ground. And he says, well, I'm looking for two shiny spots. And that is a lion. So I can see it. So
Oh.
I said, okay, point it not on the ground. Point it up. So yeah, the women are now learning how to build solar lights by hand, renting it out, taking away kerosene lamps. They're building street lights, maintaining it, charging about 120 pesos, 120 pesos a week. But their whole village is lit. They're maintaining it. So I'm building these women solar cooperatives around the world based on this kind of local, or I call it hyper local production. Even without me, they can keep on building more and more because it's built by hand.
Right. You once said that you were very affected when a professor told you, do not turn your back on anything that bothers you. Do you want to tell
Yeah.
us that story?
Well, it's when you get annoyed with things, you usually have this thing that you shut off, and you don't
Right.
think about it. It annoys you. And
Right.
so the thing about finding solutions is looking at those things that annoy you and facing it, trying to figure out why it annoys you, but also if you can come up with ideas and solutions. So you start on this serendipity journey to understand, or trace it. So sometimes I trace where this comes from, and if I can solve it, I look for other people that it annoys,
Right.
and sometimes together you can find it. So I think there is a lack of this development goals, where we're trying to look for solutions here. We're always waiting for Superman to come in or to help us from abroad,
Right. Right.
when I think that us coming together and developing it with the innovation at 100 million people, how can we not solve our own poverty? I mean, and just the fact that it's so expensive to run these international organizations, we should work with them so we have more local operations partnered with them. And well, Mirza, one of the things my professor told me that really got to me was, how can 90% or more of the best designers, students, architects in the Philippines only want to serve the 10% richest in the
Right.
country? How can the most brilliant only want to make better clothes for those that already have better clothes? How about architecture? How can most of the architects fight for the people that already have the best houses? And so that really affected me. And I said, well, if the clients can never walk into these people and ask them for their ideas and knowledge, then it will be a perpetual negligence, and we're always waiting for somebody else to do something for us. So yeah, it was fantastic. So yeah, so this is the flag. We put it on a hill at 300. So Luneta is gonna be amazing. So Luneta is gonna be like stunning.
Amazing. And how did you get so proactive? I mean, being Filipino, we're so annoyed by everything. And yet our collective annoyance is apparently not enough because it's so easy to give up and say, wala namang mangyayari dyan, wag na lang. How have you turned out different?
So I think that there is a huge gap. There's a huge gap between the students and that have the time to figure out these solutions and the government. And there in other countries there are angel investors, there's government support just in the college, in the university, in grad school for ideas that come out, and there's a lot of ideas, so that it doesn't sit in the shelf, because you might find out that we have some of the greatest ideas but it's bought up by other people. And
Right.
so I just saw that, that of course I had my parents support, I had my school support, I was very lucky about that, but I saw that I could scale. And when I think in Tacloban, when I was asked to serve there, and I figured out that I could get parts from Cebu, motorcycles LED, vape batteries for my battery, solar panels from Recto. I realized that I was onto something, and so uh, came up with a video. We came up with a video to show how we did it, and lo and behold, we got 60 million hits. It was the
Wow.
most incredible thing to be called by other countries
When
to
was
ask.
this?
This was about 2012, 2013.
Okay.
And so John Kerry was also very important in my career, because I was lighting up the villages using the women as my,
Right.
as the base. I was paying them. Would you mind if I look for it? I just, I know it's here, but
Sure.
it was
Okay.
if you can close your screen. Wait, liter of light.
Just make cuento while you look for it. Why do you
Yeah,
always
sure.
tap women? What is it about communities of women that makes them easy to tap or suitable for achieving the goals that you
They
have set?
they uh, they 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 uh, they work through years. They're consistent throughout the years. Made by the
Here.
people, made here in Tacloban. At maganda po dito is very
So
daling
this was
madaling
in
gayahin.
2012, Hayan?
So 2013, 13, I think.
Okay.
Dito sa Tacloban. At dito lang namin, isang oras lang namin naikabit, pininturahan lang namin yung post at nakatayo na siya. So kung nangyayari dito, isang revolution to. Kasi yung tao mismo ang umahanap ng paraan upang umangat. Tapos ginagamit mo itong tipo ng technology.
Let me single out a couple more people, if I can, please. Illac Diaz, who I just was introduced to over here, standing beside his light fixture over there, is not only a brilliant innovator and an entrepreneur, but he's a generous human being. Illac took recycled materials and he made handheld, environmentally friendly, very simple solar lights, turning soda bottles into something that can be useful, into light for people to be able to have in their homes.
So basically, he got
Uh-oh. We lost you, Illac. Hope you come back. Meanwhile, maybe I can share other things. So there's Illac in a small home lighting up a small house. Okay. And you're back.
got caught.
Oh, the light is different.
Yeah. The lights
That's
in the
so
center.
incredible. We have so much to learn from you. And I think the new generation is really more aware about what needs to be changed in the world. Do you have like your top three tips if you want to change the world? What are the tips that you want to give the youth of today who might think that how can I make a difference? I'm just me.
Well, one of it is one thing that really is important to me is serendipity walks.
What
Serendipity
are
walk.
those?
So serendipity walks is you can't figure this thing out on a computer or in your house or in books. You really have to go out and trace the problem, trace where it comes from. Uh, try to map out try to map out the life of that problem. Like, for example, energy poverty in Metro Manila. Finding out that in the end that people had a meter because they could register it and they had a property, and then they sub meter it to everybody. If you have 15 peso per kilowatt, you charge everybody else 27 per kilowatt,
Right.
and that one leads to energy poverty because you're just doubling everybody's. They're poor. You get 35% of their income just because you want to make money on it by submetering it. So this causes people to steal. The second thing that really is important to me is I have a third. I have a third column. So most people say, okay, my situation is positive and negative. Like they put a line. These are the
Right.
positive things. These are the negative things. So I take issue with the you know endings or ends of paragraphs or ends of thought. And so what I do is I put a line after the negative, and I said, how can I convert the negative into positive? And it's really interesting that one extra line, right? So this is what I should do. This is why I can't do it. And so people make decisions based on that. And I put an extra line and I said, wait a minute, is the negative really a negative or is there a positive? And it's amazing how, you know, uh, I mean, I got into Harvard on my third try. I was rejected twice. And I
Oh,
just realized that, through a thought process, which took, a long time, like they basically didn't know who I was with all the people. I mean, who am I really? But I tried again and I failed again. On the third time, they got to know me better. So, it's just understanding. And my last tip is know what your failure rate. Like my failure rate with the Light It Forward was 1 out of 15 people I reach, will do the light. I am completely aware that 15 people will not do the Light It Forward.
right.
It's just I don't care. I don't have time. And so, out of that 15, maybe, 8 will write back or 10 will write back, and then 5 will write back again, but only 1 will do it. But I have to go through 15 people to get this, each one. And so 3,000. Can you imagine what that is? So there is a failure rate that I understand. And so when I get rejected by 5, 7, 10 people, it's not like, I give up the farm. I just realized that in life, we're millions of people, and you've got to struggle. You've got to, if you want something bad enough, you've got to do it.
And I can vouch for that because for as long as I've known you, you've always been so persistent. I mean, how many times did you go to the Summit Media office looking for me and telling me, Mirza, entrepreneur has this so and so whatever competition, and can you help me do so and so? And even for like media mileage, you would really never stop. It came to a point where when I'd see you, oh, what does Illac need again? But looking back, it has been so admirable. And I think you really need persistence and kulit and kapal sometimes. Maybe you want to tell the kids about that, why you have to have a thick
Well, you
skin.
remember my start, which is, the guy said, when I said to him, you know what, I'm gonna make a global foundation, and he laughed on
Who's
my face.
he? Who is he?
He was an international NGO. I won't just name
Okay.
it.
All right.
But I said to myself, if we never do this, we will always be seen as the recipients, and I want to be a benefactor. I want to change the image of Filipinos from that beggar, the world, the that
Right.
we to the richness, and so that's why this frontliner moment is important for me, and to do this thing at the midst of the pandemic, and there's all reasons for me to be not to be here, but once I can create a global brand, it allows access to all other Filipinos to say, wait a minute, we
Right.
can change the world. The only thing I can tell these young people is the world does not go by words. It needs to be measured. So people will ask you, if you say change the world, it's not like you have a song to change the world. You really need measurements and numbers, and that's why I established 32 offices. I wanted, no doubt, that the Filipino movement made a difference. And this is just the start. So I just wanted to give permission that we are equal or even better. And one day there are inventions out there that will contribute to more and more of this idea that people power. It's the way we do things can be
Right.
more powerful than a single benefactor or single uh, magnificent donation. I believe these kind of technologies put in hundreds of thousands of hands can be as powerful as a very rich donor. And in fact, that's what happened. I just ask a little bit from everybody, 20 minutes of their time, and money for just the little bits of plastic bottles and pipes. And it's all going to come together on November 30.
That's incredible.
Sorry
You
for
said
the
your
kulit.
your goal. No, no, because in the long run, kailangan pala talaga. And if you didn't message me on Instagram making me collect about something, this episode would not have happened. So I am so thankful for that.
Thank
You
you.
said your goal is really to make yourself obsolete, and you are usually.
Luckily I didn't get 15 rejections kasi then
No, I always championed your causes. You said that your goal is to make yourself obsolete, and sometimes your friends kind of tease you and say, "Why are you giving all the secrets away, like the secrets of technology?" And why? Why indeed?
well, to change the world, we have offices in government that are specialists in making grants, right? And asking for help, but we don't have a single office that looks for countries that need our help. And I really think that that one is a lack somehow in our leadership in the world. uh, but I needed to replicate it by empowering and creating leaderships, people equal to me in other countries, not not somebody that they look to a central global leader. I
Right,
believe in the power of the people, in replication and replicating as fast as possible, so that even if I have if I couldn't do it, or for some case I can't continue, it will go on be out without me. And also to the fact that the obsolescence is also challenging the traditional, you know, uh, this leadership that you want to be remembered. Actually, all that I'm hoping for, if they see lights built by hand, they'll say, maybe they'll remember, hey, a Filipino did that, and that's all I
right.
want. That's all I want.
Great. And what has been your experience in empowering Filipinos all over the world, especially the poor? Once you have put the power in their hands, what is the most touching thing about it, or the most admirable thing about the character of the Filipino that you have observed?
I was really surprised how women cooperatives, which were said, just let them be, just let them sell the product. So they would give them the products and they would sell it. Not liter of light, the finished products.
Right.
We solar is too complex for them. And for them, sometimes you come there and give them 100 and tell them where to buy it, let's say in Baguio, and then you come back and it's 200. You can see, like, where did it come from? It's just the power and the genius of the poor. I mean, this is Tony Meloto's legacy to all of us that that followed him, mentored him, and got inspired. uh, they don't want to be given things. They want help up, but after a while they want the independence. They don't want to wait for you. And more than that is
Right.
in disasters, we don't want to always wait for other people to be
Right.
generous to us. We want to show them that we can move forward, but at the same time, we can also move forward while we're waiting right away.
Great. So, are the lights already on? Did they turn on already?
They are being installed, but it's not yet all on. I will send you a better one, but you know,
Okay. And where can we witness? Is it going to be live streamed or will we be able
yeah.
to
So
view it on Monday?
we have CNN coming. We have
Wow.
yeah, we have I think about 15 newspapers. It's just I don't think there are many events happening. So my 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 parents were saying, what are you doing? As I said, everybody wants to be inside. There's no media and I said, Mom, this is probably the best time in the world for me. And she said, I don't get you. I said, well, everybody's quiet and everybody doesn't want to go out of the house and everybody doesn't want to make events. This is probably my only chance to be the only event.
They should be so proud.
They
So
don't tell you directly, but
follow
I hear
Liter
it.
of Light on Instagram and also Light It Forward. And hopefully, will we be able to see the Light Up live on Monday?
So yeah, follow our stories at lightitforward.ph and at Litter of Light, so you can see the hundreds of celebrities, doctors, everybody that's contributed.
Right,
These Filipinos, children. It's been a great workshop for kids, and you
right.
can buy the Litter of Light workshop. So Litter of Light solar lights on Lazada. So we deliver it to you, and we're hoping. So this is not just a one-off, huh, Mirza?
Right,
This is just an opening. We're inviting artists because each light is like a billboard. Each one built by a
right,
person is a pixel. And so we can change the light. And so we're asking them to make huge solar artworks. We have AJ Sanyo, the brother of Yeb of Greenpeace coming in. We have Jingoy, Buen Suceso, and we're inviting other artists for the
right,
for the tour. So we're asking more people to donate lights, but we're also giving lights. So we're
right.
asking people to come and join the Light It Forward challenge. But yeah, I just think we have to really honor the frontliners. So each light will have a strap of a person, frontliner, and this will be given to the community. And we'll take a picture of it and say, look, you have given us light in Manila, and we want to give this light for Christmas to these villages for the
It's
next 5 years.
it's the perfect Christmas gift. The
Yeah,
perfect
well,
kind of Christmas light. Thank you,
anyway,
Ilac. Congratulations and good luck. You make us so proud to be Pinoy. Thank you for all the inspiration today. I'm so honored to know someone who's not just a game changer, but a world changer and who believes that we can all do our part in the smallest of ways. Thank you so much.
I just hope that it inspires other young people to follow and especially Filipinos to get involved with the 90% that could never be able to afford their skills
Right,
because as I said, I'm just a plastic bottle boy. I can imagine what these brilliant, these micro satellite guys can do, these biologists. I mean, we're winning all these awards. I'm hoping that investors invest in Filipino, what is called B Corp or businesses for good. Thank you, Mirza, for
thank
covering
you.
our project. I wish it was stronger. They're building the towers tomorrow. They're
Okay.
building a tower so you can take a selfie of the flag. So everything is
Wow.
just 2 days.
Keep
So
us
I have two
posted.
days more. Yeah.
Definitely inspiring. And thank you, Ilac, for lighting the way.
Thank you,
Bye.
Mirza, for sharing the light. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. This has been TikTok, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.